right, gang. So tonight I have the pleasure of two gentlemen from the band Cryptodira, Scott and Mike. How you guys doing tonight, man?
Very well. How about you?
I'm doing good. Who is the turtle lover in the band to name the band Cryptodira?
That would be all of us. I think
Uh,
it started a very long time ago, and we just thought it was cool when we were looking for names. We thought Mastodon and Pelican had cool names, and
sure.
why couldn't we? There's not a whole lot more to it than that.
Yeah, I just picked up two Cryptodira last week for my outdoor pond. So
Very sick.
I,
What'd you
I
name him?
I got really, you wanted the names? I got Lily and Herman
Yes. Very
from the
Herman.
Munsters. So
That's my Herman is
I
my grandfather's name. That's
yeah, I got two red ear sliders. So
sick.
the only thing I noticed is that they like koi because they ate two of my baby koi.
Oh no, Koi's
So that was a big fail. And actually, I happened to catch him as he was devouring one of them. So I have it on video. It's like a horror movie.
yeah, man. Turtles pack a punch more than people realize, you
I'm
know?
telling you, man. But yeah, they're out there doing good. So
Cool.
yeah, man. So we're talking about your new EP coming out on the 25th through Silent Pendulum Records, Genesis of Error.
Yes.
Cool title. Where did the title for the EP come out?
Our drummer Matt is the lyricist in the band, and
Okay.
we pretty much at this juncture of our band, we say, Matt, give us a list of titles, and we just wait for one to jump off the page, and ultimately that was it. I mean, the record deals with a lot of socioeconomic problems, and it's essentially what it sounds like. You know, where did it go wrong? Where did it start, and how do we fix it?
I get that vibe in the lyrics to a couple of the songs, and we'll touch on one in a moment. But I got to say that I think it's a prerequisite for any band who has like a heavy sound that they get Will Putney to get involved at some point during the process.
Yeah.
He's a master, man, and I mean to have him master this EP, how'd you guys pull that off?
Well, Will has been a friend of the band for a minute now. We recorded with Randy, who interned under Will, our first record, called Devil's Despair, and he was hanging around the whole time. Our first introduction to him was I think he was checking out a new Opeth song that had just come out. I think Sorceress was just coming out,
Yep.
and is the first track on that one Sorceress, the
Yeah. Yeah.
single. And he was just like, it is awesome. You know, it was awesome to his background for us was always like metalcore and stuff like that, and it was awesome to see the side of him that was like, oh, he digs this stuff that we really like too.
Oh,
I
cool.
remember kind of bursting into our tracking room when we were doing guitars, and he was like, "Yo, guys, like real quick, you guys hear the new Opeth song?" We were like, "No, actually, I'm not sure if we
I
had.
had,
Maybe we
yeah, I
had."
had,
And
yeah.
what I specifically remember was him talking about like the way that riff kind of drops out in the beginning of Sorceress, and it's just a drop A, like super floppy string, and he's like,
Sure.
"Dude, Opeth's playing like metal riffs on like a drop A guitars like grandpa style. It's like so sick." And it was yeah, like Mike said, from
Yeah.
there it was like
There's old school, then there's that, you know what I'm saying? Crazy.
yeah, just fast friends after that. So
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he's a really good fit, and we've never recorded a record with him or anything, but Greg and Chris, who recorded the EP, are friendly with him. Greg plays in and one of his bands, and yeah, it was a quick, yeah, I can do this. This would be great,
yeah.
and it worked out perfectly.
And Greg Thomas, who recorded the record with Chris Teddy, was insistent on
Yeah, he
using Will.
was.
Actually, we asked him about mastering, and I said like I don't know a whole lot about mastering engineers, and I know a couple of guys or whatever, but what do you think? And he was like, he insisted. He's like, I don't care if it takes another month if Will's busy. Like we're I'm telling you, we've shot out masters like Will's master versus another guys, and Will always wins. Like, and so he convinced us of
100%.
that. So I was very happy.
Absolutely. I mean, the detail, I mean, your guys' music is over the top anyway. It's not just crunchy, it's not just ethereal, it's a combination of it all.
Yeah.
And I mean, how this was mic'd, how it was recorded, how the whole process, it's so large. And I mean, if you don't listen to it with headphones on, you're doing yourself a disservice. Because I mean, with the headphones on, man, I could hear every little thing, and it's just phenomenal, man. It came out amazing.
Thank you,
Appreciate
man.
it. Thank
I
you.
actually was, telling Mike when we got the mix back, I'm like, after all this like time of being in a band, I think this is the first time we got a mix back where I was happy. Where I was like, this
Wow.
sounds fucking awesome. I can get a little like in the weeds with that stuff. I can get a little picky and when we went to the studio, I remember telling, with Mike, we were talking to Greg and Chris and saying like, a big important thing for this record is we wanted to sound modern, but we also wanted to sound organic. And it is kind of a tightrope to walk
It is.
with the progressive stuff. It's really easy to over polish it, but it's also really easy to kind of lose detail when you start
Yeah.
to go a little too old school. So Greg was very, very like hip to that task and went crazy. I mean, the drums sound amazing. I love the way the drums sound. The
For
guitar
Yeah.
sounds
sure.
a really cool combination of amps. I think it's a 5150 and an Archon, and
Yeah.
they just
Really?
blend
Wow.
together. Yeah, they're just awesome. So I was just like, wow, my God, finally something without a million extra visions. I just
Yeah.
a couple small notes and fast
They
process.
get it. Yeah. They get what we're going for.
I was stunned, and I mean, you would expect that from, like you mentioned, an Opeth or some large band, but a smaller band, like you guys, to have that kind of sound is just, it helps to get across what you guys are doing.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just like not only, I mean, you could hear the talents there, but if you have the talent and it sounds shitty,
Yeah.
then who gives a shit? You know what I'm saying? But it sounds so awesome. And I mean, the first song, No Monuments. I mean, the death metal vocals in the beginning are just as strong as the clean vocals later on. It's and I'll tell you what, about 2 minutes in, my jaw hit the floor when the song kind of dives into this like Yes meets modern metal sequence. It's just like I'm like, where did that come from? That was unexpected.
Appreciate it. Yeah. 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 We pull from, and that's something that I've been trying to do more and more as I write more and I get a little bit older, is restraint and like pulling back, giving the music space, and all of the bands and the artists that I love do it. And I got really into Pat Metheny, and I've always been into the prog rock stuff, and they just let guitar breathe sometimes.
yeah,
And Opeth is like a perfect example of it, where they'll just have a guitar play by itself or maybe with another guitar, sometimes for like a minute and a half. And
yeah.
it's like that's kind of a long time in real time when
Sure.
you're thinking about a song, but it works, and that's yeah. So we went for it there, and I'm happy we did, because it can sound like a little bit abrasive in a strange way, because it's clean and pretty, but it can sound abrasive to someone who's looking for a constant driving. The song is a driving death metal song, and
Yeah.
then it just drops. So it's abrasive in that sense.
What I like about the EP is that it grabs your attention and it holds it because there's so many things going on. I mean, even the smaller or the I guess the shortest of the songs, the same river twice. Even that, there's so many different little uh, points that are in what's it, a minute and a half song or so. It's just like
Yeah.
man
About
alive. You
Yeah,
know?
that I'm glad you brought up the EP holding attention because that song originally was a lot different. It was about
Yeah.
5 minutes and it was a normal, I guess, quintessential Cryptodira song with your ebbs and flows and cleans and whatnot. But when we brought it to the studio guys and they were checking out the demos on day one of recording, they were pretty frank with us, just saying like, look, track one and track three are really cool. Track two has potential, but there's just something about it that's maybe getting lost between track one and track three. It's not as strong, so they pulled essentially the middle section of the song and said, "Weird idea. Don't have to listen to us. What if you cut out the whole beginning, you cut out the whole end, you take this middle idea and you flesh it out and you make it
Wow.
2 minute amphitheater?" And we were like, "Well, hold on a second. Like pump the brakes there." But it took probably 5 minutes of just mulling it over, and I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, what if we just do like, and it was a really cool thing because it challenged the band. Mike and I talk about this a lot, how certain songs can take, or albums or whatever can take 10 years to write and they could be amazing. And certain songs or albums can be written in a half an hour and they can be just as amazing because there's really no
I
correct process. It's just like
Right.
what happens. And
Yeah.
we're a band that's always kind of taken our time. And it was really cool, I thought, to be like feet to the fire. You're in the studio for 1 week. While we're tracking drums, you and Mike go figure out that song.
Yeah.
And it was like, holy shit, like where okay,
Right. Right. Right.
oh no, and it turned out to be probably in a weird way like the most maybe I wouldn't say definitely not the most interesting, but the most shocking song on the record, I think, like to someone who's familiar with the band and the normal routes we take.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean most of your songs in your catalog are 4 minutes plus, if not 7, 8, 9 minutes. So it must have been a little bit out of your comfort zone to say, wait a second, how can we narrow this down and still make it sound like you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I think that's the best thing a band could do is push itself out of its comfort zone.
Yeah, we gotta get better at that. And I think we started with this EP because you can get stuck in we're a progressive band, but this type of music's been around for so long. Like you have to actually push yourself to make it progressive, and it's progressive for us. It's not progressive for music as a whole, because that's like a Converge or a Trap Them
Yeah.
or one of those types of songs.
True.
But it makes it progressive for us, and like I want to lean into that more, especially in a world of like a lot of music just kind of sounds very similar. A lot of heavy music sounds very similar to me.
And it gets stale. It's like, okay, I've heard this a million times.
Yeah.
I get so many records that come across my desk to give a listen to, and I chose you guys because it's something different. I mean, it's different, and that's what drew me to it. It's really good, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
One thing you had mentioned about the lyrics. This song, it's pretty intense, man. I mean, just the lyrics alone: glacial river of acid and plastic, drink from the fund of the future, another hospital bomb. It's always the same. I mean, not only musically, but the lyrics grab me too.
Yeah, I think that's something that for better or for worse is devoid or I guess to say there's a little bit of a void in progressive music for writing about sort of worldly or secular things. I think there's certainly nothing wrong with writing a cool alien story. I mean, some of those my favorite
Yeah.
records are written about that kind of stuff, but
Yeah,
from day one with our band, it's never been like that. We've always been the type of band that writes about things that are happening and things that trouble us and what we want to see changed in the world. Because I just think it's our platform isn't huge, but we have one, and it's worth using. Our drummer Matt is an activist in a local, actually not a local, I guess a national political party at this point. Just spends a lot of his time donating to causes and donating his time to causes
He
and all
walks the
that.
walk is
Yeah, he
the
walks the walk.
cool. Yeah.
best way.
It's
Yeah.
not just writing lyrics. So it's just another outlet for us.
With all the shit going on in the world, it's amazing. You guys just have an EP. You could have a double album.
Yeah.
The old
Enough
records
to
are
talk
about the
about,
same stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. There'll be more, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Crazy,
unfortunately.
man.
Uh,
The last song is the title track, I would say, and again, that's the one that really I listened to it just off my laptop, and then I went out into my car actually, and I put it on and just cranked it up, and there's just so much. And you had talked about letting a song breathe with the guitars, and there's a couple parts where actually the bass has that part, where
yeah.
there's like a soft bass, which is just lets the song breathe and gives it some space to grow. It's insane.
Appreciate it. Yeah, that song, yeah, so I have this little thing that I always try to push onto us, which is when we're getting ready to go record, I remember the first time I did it, everyone was like, Mike, you're insane. Stop. Where I'm infatuated with the whole when Sabbath recorded Paranoid, it was like an afterthought. And I'm like, they recorded it in one day, they wrote it in one day, it's one of their biggest songs. Everyone's trying to write one song before we go into the studio, like just one extra one. And everyone's like, we're preparing for all the other stuff that we have written. And this one came where I was like, we already had what we were going to record with them. We had the studio time booked, and I was like, I've got this other one. And I wrote two versions of it, one that was 4 minutes and one that was like nine. And we changed it, that we come with a structure, whoever comes with a structure, and then it gets tweaked by everyone. But that idea was that, and the idea was what you're talking about, like breathing and letting,
Yeah,
I'm really trying to make it less busy and more purposeful. So that way, when it's busy, it packs a harder punch.
Yeah.
yeah, and I mean, like I said, it a lot of changes, but they're not like they're there for a reason. Like everything flows together. It's not just different to be different. And
Yeah.
like I said, that's what
Yeah.
attracted me to it and kept my attention. I like the EP, man. It's really good. You guys have other stuff planned for later on this year or maybe early next year for more
Yeah.
records?
Oh, for sure. As far as music goes, I mean, this EP was supposed to be an LP. That was the
Ah,
original plan, and then from a couple of outside forces, we were sort of convinced internally and externally to do an EP instead of an LP first. So the LP
okay.
never stopped getting written. I mean,
Yeah.
we still have, I'd say, like half a record, if not more, written,
More.
and
I was
just
going through it the other day. I think we have outlines for, oh God, between between 7 and 12 songs.
Yeah,
Oh
so
wow.
the idea with this EP was never to release it and then start going hard, paying attention to that for years at a time. It was really put this EP out, get out there, play a bunch of shows, and immediately hit the studio again. So we
Yeah,
don't want a gap between our records again.
we
Okay.
always way too much like there's been way too much of a gap between releases for us. Like it bothers us.
A
So
lot.
yeah, so we're trying to be better about that. We've got a lot written and we're trying to expedite that best we can.
Yeah.
The EP kicks ass, man. So while you guys on a roll, keep on punching it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. It's we haven't stopped. We have a new bass player now, so
Yeah.
it's that's exciting too to see his contributions to the new music. So
And we feel like we hit a good we got a good team around us in terms of creatively with Greg and Chris who recorded and produced the EP. Like again, much love to everyone who's recorded us in the past, and they've all been really great, unique experiences. But
Right.
we feel like we finally found the guys that get it and know how to toe that line that Scott was talking about earlier.
What kind of shows you guys have lined up in the near future?
we are starting a little regional run in the middle of July. I believe it is July 10th through 13th is going to be a small Northeast thing up in New Haven, Connecticut, Utica, Lowell, and then Biddeford, Maine, and
Which is
then
like Portland.
yeah, by Portland. And then the following weekend, we're doing a sort of home and home back-to-back weekend with our friends in a band called East of the Wall in New Jersey. And then all that's culminating at a Long Island show the next day, which is going to essentially serve as our release show for the record.
And we're playing Philly in September. We're submitted for some stuff that we hope we get. And if not, we're gonna play some shows on our own
In the fall.
in the fall.
So
Where are you guys playing in Philly?
Milk.
If you remember, is it on the website? Is it on your Facebook or something?
Yes, it
Yes.
should be. I think it's called Milk Boy. If I'm
Oh
not.
yeah, yeah, okay, sure, sure.
And what's the name of the band? It's a local.
It's a it's a death metal band.
Okay.
That are cool, that are really cool. They're like a tech death band.
And that's in September.
Yes.
All right, cool. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, absolutely. Allustrium.
Illustrium.
They're Illustrium.
Oh, Illustrium.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know them. Wow.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
we'll
Okay.
hang out.
Wow. All right,
I'm in
cool,
now.
man. I'm gonna go check that. I haven't seen them yeah, it's been quite a while.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
think this is
heard-
like a comeback.
All right.
for them.
They're kind of coming back or something.
They are, yeah, yeah. They've been out of them. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, cool, man. That's awesome. Well, listen, I'm gonna pick up one of the variants because there's I think there's two, and
Yes.
there's a butterfly one, and then the other one. They're both pretty cool. So I'm gonna grab one. Anyone who wants to pre-order the EP can go to silentpendulumrecords.com and pick that up. The band's on Facebook and Instagram. So listen, guys, it's been a pleasure to talk to you. I'm gonna check out Milk Boy down there in September, man. I'm gonna come and see you guys, and yeah, wish you guys best of luck.
Yeah,
Thank you,
shoot us a
appreciate it.
message before the show and we'll hang out.
Yeah.
I will. Absolutely. You guys take care of yourselves, and yeah, I'll see you down the road.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for
All
having
right.
us.
Cheers. Yep. Bye-bye.
Never fall.